How's everybody doing? We're back again with another episode of Stronger Together. My name's Ray, and I am the co-founder of Project Roll Call. We are in Spokane, Washington today with Keirsten, and she's here to tell us a little bit about the Washington State Fallen Heroes Project. Keirsten, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your organization and what you guys do?
Sure. My name is Keirsten Lyons, and I'm the current director of the Fallen Heroes Project. Our mission is to honor post 9/11 fallen heroes and support their families and engage our communities in doing both of those things. And we have a number of ways that we do that. We were founded in 2007 when Kim Cole lost her son Daryl in Iraq, and was invited to a gathering with families later that same year. And grief is so raw in the beginning, and sometimes even 10 years later or 20 years later, it doesn't go away, it just changes. But that was the very beginning for her, and so she went to this gathering with other families that experienced the same loss. She just felt this need that, like we all do, that they needed to know Daryl, what he looked like and what his name was, and put those two things together and just sear that into people's memories, because these are our children. Sir, you want people to remember that. And so she had this large banner made with Daryl's face and name on it, and she took it to that gathering. Well, as you can imagine, other families who had lost their loved ones in the service took a look at that and said, how do we get ours? And so the project kind of unofficially started then. Kim started making banners and doing it out of her own pocket for these other families that she had met, and just had a beautiful heart for helping others and helping make sure that those heroes were remembered. And so fast forward 2014, thankfully she had got some partners on board, so she wasn't making those out of pocket anymore, and we officially became a 501c3. And so Kim and I met in 2008 when we left the military and then served Spokane. I was a military service instructor for the Red Cross, and so I worked with Kim and other Gold Star families as part of my job. And then in 2014, we became one of those families. I said a drink died in Afghanistan. And so it changes, life changes completely. There's before and after. It just becomes very personal very quickly. And I was so thankful to have had that relationship with Kim and the other families, because that's the thing about loss. Like families that have experienced it just open their arms for the next one that has to go through that. And to have had that support made me cry. You go through all the emotions, but in the end, it is just this beautiful family that none of us want to be a part of, but because we are, we're just embraced. So again, it became very personal very quickly.
Right. Still, as you guys have grown and gone from that single banner, what kinds of things are you guys doing now? And how do you incorporate that into the community?
So banners, first and foremost, are what the project was founded on and what we'll always do. And we continue to make more. One of the best things about the Fallen Heroes Project is that we honor those who have served and who died in service or as a result of that service. So it doesn't matter how or when, it matters if they served post 9/11, just because you have to set pressure somewhere.
But
we had KIAs, we had accidents, we had training accidents, we had medical, we had so many suicides. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that they raise their hand and serve, and that's what we're founded on and what we will always do. So we currently have about 382 banners and post 9/11 fallen heroes from Washington and North Idaho, primarily. Either that was their home of record or their families are residing in this area.
Okay.
Those banners are displayed across the state. We partner with Alaska Airlines to ship back and forth. So they're in parades all across the state, posted at different events. We have local bars and restaurants here that display banners monthly. So we try and get everyone out as often as we can throughout the year. And then in 2015, we built the Eliminating Courage Memorial, which is on the grounds of the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. And I'd encourage anyone who comes to the Spokane to go and visit it. It's really beautiful. And inside are the names of all the coastal inland and fallen from Washington. And we also have, we call it the Walk of Remembrance. It's a paver pathway that connects all of the memorials along Yacht Plaza. And so people can have pavers engraved for themselves or their loved ones who served. And we place those twice a year and invite the families to come out. They get to choose the location and put things underneath. So I have some beautiful notes people have left and pictures and coins and G.I. Joes. You'd be amazed at what's underneath some of those favors. But it's kind of the best part of the memorial because it can be really sad places. But we invite these families to come and you get to hear the stories. And it's, from the crackers served in World War II or Korea to Vietnam veterans who are honoring their buddies and to people currently serving them. So it's a really beautiful thing to get to hear and share the stories. So that's kind of the best part of the memorial some days.
Right. Yeah, I know. And being involved in some of the events that we discussed earlier, like with Warren's Ride and stuff, the stories are everything.
Yeah.
These families tell the most amazing stories about their heroes, and you honestly, you get to know them. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're sad, and sometimes they're just flat out amazing. But every one of them is unique, and every one of them I've heard it is a blessing. And I feel honored to have had the opportunity to meet with those families and get to know their hero a little bit.
And I'll tell you, it's a blessing for the families to be able to share them. Most of us don't want to talk about the worst day of our lives, but, we'll talk to you all day long about our heroes and what their lives were like.
Right.
Because they were.
Right. That is awesome. So, you say that Alaska Airlines helps you ship them around to different parades. What kind of parades can we go find your banners in?
Well, for Memorial Day, they'll be in Bellingham, the Whatcom County Memorial Day Parade. So they're in Veterans Day, they're in Auburn, they're in Burlington. I'm trying to blank on all the things because there are a lot of things coming up. We have our Lilac Parade right here in Spokane. That's an Armed Forces Torchlight Parade. It's an evening parade and has as many banners out as we have volunteers to carry them.
Cool.
And the same thing in Wenatchee for Apple Blossom just coming up in just a couple weeks.
And what's the dates on those?
Apple Blossom is May 4th and 5th. We get to carry them in the Classy Chassis on Friday night and then in the main Grand Parade on Saturday. So we're always looking for volunteers for those.
Okay. And is that information that people can get on your website? Do you have an events calendar there? Or?
Our Facebook page is probably the best spot for what's upcoming. And then we send a monthly newsletter out that we're glad to add people to anytime.
Our websites are kind of becoming old school. Social media is where everybody is drawn to and gets their information. And being old school, I always resort to the website first. But I think that we share probably most of our content through social media as well, through Facebook and Instagram. So you said that local businesses display the banners.
Mm-hmm.
Are there stories posted with those? Can you go in there and find out a little something about the hero?
We have banners displayed at the Elk VFW, and they had the heroes' bios to frames that are next to the banners. So we do that each month, and then we have the heroes' dinner on the third Friday of each month up there, and we invite the families of those heroes, and then they get a free steak dinner, and the VFW does a really beautiful presentation. We share the bio of each hero, their story, and present the families with a candle, and it's a really, really beautiful night. It's great on the gun. And then a couple of our other locations, they have the hero stories in a binder that people can look at.
That'd be awesome.
Be true. Yeah.
I always, whenever I go to a monument or a memorial or anything like that, I like the stories. I like to read them because, again, you can find out a little something about the person. But I also take the time to walk through and speak each name out loud as I'm going by, just in another attempt to make sure that we're not forgetting. And I think that, visual is one thing, but to speak it out loud is another. And it's something that myself and several different other people in our organization do as we're traveling around the United States in support of other organizations. So
we started making hero books a couple of years ago, and it's just big pen binders with pages, a page for each hero. So their picture and their branch of service, their dates, but then we story it who they were, who they are. And we take those to any kind of tabling or resource event that we do. And people stand there for upwards of an hour, and they're reading them, and they're looking at the pictures, and we're saying their names. And as a mom, and as, what feels like a mom to this 382 heroes that we have, it just means the world when people take the time.
Right.
It makes a difference.
It's amazing because, our lives have become so fast-paced that when somebody will actually take the time to sit and notice and read and engage, it means a lot. So,
and they push connection points always, right? I mean, no matter how different you think you are from someone, if you dig down deep enough, you find those places where you connect, and that happens all the time when people are reading those stories.
That's so cool.
I share in high school or hometown or UMIT or something.
Right.
Always.
Right.
Or
yeah. Sometimes it hits so close to home. You're just like, how did I not hang out with this person? How is it's some of them are really.
And to see kids listening to them, and they'll calculate the dates, especially when they see the banners. The banners just have their name, branch of service, dates, and their town picture. And the kids will calculate the dates and say, oh my gosh, she was 19. And
that, and that really makes it personal to them because it's not just some, it's somebody that's in their demographic, and kids really engage with that. But then also the fact that our youth is taking the time to learn these stories and understand that there's a price to freedom. And it's often taken for granted. And when we can get the younger generations out there and help them or educate them in what that cost is pretty important, I think. So,
that's the engaging communities part for us.
Right. I think it is. So if you were to get any one thing from this for your organization, what would you like to ask people for? Volunteer work, donations? What can people do to help you continue your mission?
We're a nonprofit, so we love all of those things, but I would say volunteers. We have a lot of families that help us a lot of the things that we do, but when people outside of the Gold Star community step in and say, how can we help, or I want to help, care, when is the next banner cleaning, or we have a garden, when does the gardening include season? That's when we feel most supported.
Okay, and so like people can volunteer to carry the banners in parades and ads and stuff like that. Yeah, and the more people, like you mentioned earlier, the more banners you can get out there. So if people wanted to get that information, is Facebook still the best place to go on that? And what is your Facebook name?
I think it's WA Fallen Heroes Project, to double check.
Okay, I will double check and I'll put it on the screen. As I was talking about earlier, we'll make sure it's up there and everybody can see what it is and how to get a hold of you and get involved.
We also have our Little Big Courage Facebook page where we post the heroes each day, and then our Heroes Garden has a Facebook page, and March for the Fallen has a Facebook page.
Okay.
There's a lot of places to get information.
Okay. I will make sure those are all included as well. And we will get people plugged in one way or another and find ways to get them involved in supporting what you're doing. It's powerful, I think. When, I haven't seen you guys in a parade yet. I can't remember the last time I was at a parade, but in talking to you, I want to go to one of these events because I want to see these banners going through the streets and watching the crowd interact and engage with them. I think it would be a powerful visual, and I would really enjoy seeing that. So
I'd encourage you to come carry a banner with us.
I would be honored to come carry a banner with you. I will definitely look at your calendar and see what I can fit in there. And if I can make something work, I will definitely come out. And I have a tendency to drag other people with me. So we'll get a few banners
We like it.
up in the air, and we just got to figure out which event will work for us. But is there anything else that you would like to share while we're sitting here talking?
We have a Heroes Garden. It's adjacent to the Spokane Bat Summit, and it's about a half-acre garden open to veterans and surviving families. So you have a number of raised beds and then also community beds. You may just invite people to come and adopt a bed for the season. The garden is big enough that if you're there because you need camaraderie and people around, we're there. But if you need space, there's definitely room for that too. But there's just something about getting your hands in the dirt, even if you grew up in the city, whatever your background is, just getting your hands in the dirt and nurturing a tiny little seed into a giant cucumber.
Right.
And there's something very powerful and very healing about that. And so we had Home Depot come in this past fall, and they built waist-high raised beds and put a pathway in so it's accessible for anybody. We have some of the veterans that come and grow things there. We have a kids' bed. We and paint the sides and grow whatever they want. And it's just a really peaceful and beautiful place. And it's so big. It's just powerful. We have these beautiful metal gates that were fabricated and built by a local veteran. And there's something about opening those gates and walking through, like whatever heaviness you're coming in with, it just dissipates.
Oh, cool.
And you walk out just in a much better place than you might have been when you walked in. We have some beautiful bench seating area, but 3 benches that were dedicated by too many.
22 too many? Okay.
And so as part of the garden, we have this beautiful gazebo that was also built and donated by the local organization. And underneath that, we have 3 island benches that are dedicated to 3 of our fallen heroes that came in 22 too many. And it's just a beautiful space. It's nice to have a memorial rose garden. And so roses on one side and dahlias on the other side, and some shade overhead. And tell you, there's a lot of great conversations that take place in that space. Lots of tears and laughter, and sometimes both at the same time. But it's just a place of peace for all of us. And so we have a work day every week throughout the season, May through October, and gardens are beautiful places, and they grow beautiful tasting things, and they also grow a lot of weeds. So there's a few for volunteers to come out and just help with the maintenance of the garden. But as part of that, you get the community and probably be going with a bunch of tomatoes too.
Nice. Nice. It sounds like an amazing place, and I have a little bit of time before I leave. I might actually swing over there and take a look at that. You said it's next to the VA?
The vet center.
The vet center? Okay.
So off Maryville Parkway.
Okay. Yeah, I will look that up and go look at that. It sounds pretty amazing.
It's a winter garden right now. Our first cleanup date was May 14th, but it's a mean space. And if you come back in the season, it's worth the trip.
Nice. I'm actually coming back through here end of August, beginning of July.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I'll have a little bit more time then as well. So,
well, if you're in town September 14th, we have our annual March to the Fall, and this is our 10th year if you don't count COVID, and we're not counting COVID. So this is our 10-year anniversary, September 14th.
Okay.
and it's an 510 or 15.6K rough red or lot.
That's it.
People can choose their distance and choose whether or not to carry it back. It's very family friendly, very dog friendly. We just encourage people to come out to Riverside State Park, and on the course goes along the river for most of the way, and it's all lined with our 40-girl banners to put every banner out for the event, and just encourage people to spend that day out there. It's some people are competitive, and we have that part. Some people just want to watch the course and say their names and see their faces, like you said. And so it's whatever you need it to be. We have a big free barbecue afterwards. We usually have the climbing wall out there. We have static displays, lawn games, so people just come and do the course and then spend the day. It's a really great event.
That is awesome. I like that it's, I mean, you have a little bit of something for everybody there, and in community aspect, it's come out, hang out, have a full day.
Yep.
Run, walk. I like the banners out there. Even if I ever thought I would run it, which not so much anymore, I think I would very much enjoy walking it and taking time to look at each and every one of the banners and speak the names. That would be really cool. And that's September 14th.
Mm-hmm.
I will see if I can get that on the calendar, because I think I'd very much enjoy that. Yes.
Yeah, but started by retiring first sergeant in honor of the men he lost in my right, Jeremiah Schmunk. And actually, his mom is when he started 10 upper medal runs, which was the event that Kim was invited to that first year. Like, she got sterile being settled on.
It all kind of connects. You were saying earlier that, if you listen to a story or read a story, you'll find those connection points, and those do happen a lot. So when we're riding around and going to these different events, there's always these things that come up, and sometimes it might be me, sometimes the guy next to me, and we call them God wink moments, and it's sometimes they just take your breath away and just sit back and go, wow, did that really happen? So it's really kind of cool that all the things that you guys have now that you're encompassing in your community, all connected at different points, and came together and created something that's really kind of cool.
Mm.
So the more we talk about it, the more I'm thinking I got to make September 14th work.
Not a good thing.
Yeah. Right now, September, I think, is pretty open for me, but I do have to confirm it.
You can bring some friends.
I very, me being here by myself, I'm very seldom by myself. So I usually have people with me. Again, I can definitely get people to come if I let them know that there's a mission involved.
And bring your motorcycle. We have some great community partners, and Combat Web Riders are one of them. And so for March for the Fallen, all of our the surviving family members are invited to ride in on motorcycles for the opening ceremony. That's how we start the opening. So you could bring a family member in on your bike.
I would very much enjoy that, yeah. I am usually on my bike. This is a very funny character. It was really weird for me to come over here this morning in the truck. But I know that I'll be back on my bike in Boise in 2 days. So it's short-lived, but it was a necessity so I can come and meet you and sit and talk with your organization. So it's definitely working out, because I really like what you guys are doing. I feel connected to your mission because it's so a part of what we do and what we're trying to do with different aspects of Project Roll Call. The more organizations that are sharing these stories, the more that we can get them out and share them with other people. And I'm pretty excited about that.
And then turn that supports the families. Then
Ultimately, it's all about the families. Everything is about the families. The people that are involved with that, there's nothing we wouldn't do for a Gold Star family. They are the most important part of everything that we do. Is there anything else? You got so much. You got the banners. You got the Eliminating Courage Monument. You got the gardens. You got the parades, the marches, the community events. That's a lot. That's really cool. We definitely need to put some graphics up to make sure people that can plug into all that and come out and support it and donate it to it, because in order to pull these things off, there's cost, and those costs can be easily spread out if people just, give in a little bit. And that's one of the things that we try to encourage people to do when we're talking to them is, if you can't come out and help, then and you have it within your means to donate, then donate and support these organizations, and it'll help them do even more in their communities. And you guys are already doing a ton.
We'd love more opportunities to get our banners out, and anyone can request them. Then we'll pay for shipping. So if there's an event in your area, it doesn't matter where it is, we'll figure out how to get them to you. If you would like to have banners to display, we can pull heroes just from that area. We can pull an assortment. But, hanging out in a storage gym, that keeps them safe, but it doesn't get them out in the community. But also, if there are events in more areas that they would like banners for, we'd be happy to figure out how to get them to them. We can ship via Alaska Air Cargo, we can ship UPS, it's a small number, but whatever it takes to get more heroes seen in their communities, the better. So that's something I'd really like to share, that any organization can request banners in their area for, say, it doesn't have to be in your eye. So we had a lady reach out last year that lives in a community that gets a lot of tourists, so probably 4th of July. And she wanted to put banners up in this kind of main part of town for that week of the 4th Independence Day, just to have them see members. So we shipped them over so she could.
Oh, how cool. Just in thinking, I bet there's a lot of organizations that would love to have them out there for events. And I will definitely talk to a few of those myself. What's the turnaround time on that? If somebody says, hey, we needed them for this event, obviously there's got to be some logistics involved in that to get them out there.
We like to have at least 2 weeks. We've done it with less, and we've done it with a lot more. So,
okay.
But generally, people know if events are coming up, and we just like them to consider having banners out for them. Look, you have to get the children.
Okay.
The more their faces are seen and their names are said, the better.
Absolutely.
I would just say, with that, sometimes people contact us and they're very surprised by how many heroes we have from their community or from their surrounding community, because we hear about the KIAs, right?
Right.
There's papers are on the news, the flags are lowered that day. We know about the KIAs, we can pull the lists online. But the reality is that for every KIA, there are probably 5 suicides. A lot of deaths from other things, but all the people who raise their hand to serve our country. And so we'll pull a list of fallen heroes from their area, and they're always surprised by how many there are. And so it's an opportunity for us to share, these heroes with them. We deserve just as much honor and remembrance as anyone else. And then it's a chance for them to share that with our community.
Right.
I think we covered a lot, and just really appreciate you letting us highlight our families and our heroes and our organization and what we're trying to do. And I really love what you guys are doing and the support that you give to the community, and especially around suicide. There's so much stigma and silence surrounding it. We see it and feel it every day. But we also see how much healing there is on the other side of the words for both the families that are affected by it, but also, maybe veterans that have been there and that have, been at that precipice. So the more that you do things like this, the more that you do the outreach that you do as part of your organization, hopefully that silence is broken, bit by bit. And it's something that we talk about because it's something that affects so many. And once you start talking about it, you realize that.
Right.
And it's important. So thank you for what you guys are doing too.
Oh yeah, it's pretty important to us. And it's something, like you say, it needs to be talked about. There's a lot of stigma around it. Even saying the word suicide is like, a lot of people. And until we get past that, we really can't evoke change. because we have to be able to look at people and ask them, hey, are you okay? And are you in a place where you need some help? And, are you thinking of hurting yourself or committing suicide? And until we can have that conversation, we can't do anything about it. And we can only do that through education and support. And that's one of our goals, is to get it out there and get it into communities, not just for our veteran community, but, teenage suicide is rampant in the United States. And, that's the future of this country. And they think it's for whatever reason, that's their only option, and we need to be able to educate them as well. So as we're opening up more and more things within our organization, we're going to open them to the communities as educational platforms. It takes a village, and if we can get everybody to openly talk about it, then we might be able to do something about it. And that's really what we're hoping to do with that part of our mission. So. But as far as you guys go, I really appreciate you coming out and making the time today. It was really, really, really cool to meet you. I kind of had a little gist of what you guys did, and I thought that was awesome, but you guys do way more than I thought you did, which is really cool. And I'm excited to come out and support you guys in other ways and support some of your events, and see if I can get some other people to do the same.
Thanks, Ray.
So, that's all I have, and we'll wrap this one up. And for anyone out there, if you're an organization and you want to get involved in a discussion like this, if you want to talk about your mission and what you do, please reach out. The whole purpose of Stronger Together is to share stories and create a community of organizational support for our veterans, our Gold Star family, and our active duty service members. So if you're an organization or you know one, reach out, let us know. We'll get you plugged in. Or if you'd like to know more about us or more about this wonderful lady and her amazing organization, please reach out and we will get you that information. And we will share it as soon as we can. I will put a lot of content on the video as far as links to your Facebook pages, and I'll try to get some dates for your events up there as well.
Thanks.
So. Again, thanks for tuning in. We will be back again in another month with another organization. And until then, please remember that each and every one of you guys matter. We're out.